Well, I wish I was in the land of coffee and oats, and there are lots of worlds. And look away, Dixieland. In Dixieland, where I was born early on one frosty morning. Look away, Dixieland. Well, I wish I was in Dixie, hooray, hooray. In Dixie's land, I'll take my stand and let it die in Dixie, away, away, away down south of Dixie, away, away, away down south of Dixie. Oh, Mrs. Mary William wasn't really seen. Look away, Dixieland. And Kenyon hills all around the smile, there's Phil says 40 pounds. Look away, Dixieland. There wish I was in Dixie, hooray, hooray. In Dixie's land, I'll take my stand and
Dixie away. I always think of Outlaw Josie Wales when I hear that song. Sorry. I like this gun because it's my Civil War pistol. This is the Civil War 2.0 pistol. I think it's appropriate that at least one person be packing a one from the original. Also, this thing is kind of badass because of the resupply. If you only need to shoot 5 or 6 bullets at a time, listen, boys. Listen to Aunt Ray Ray about the simplicity of the Colt single-action black powder revolver. It's something that you can just go buy. That's kind of cool. It works. That's cool. I like it because you can beat a man to death with this thing. And if you've seen what 44 caliber slugs do to a human being, yeah, these work. Yeah, it's one of those things that a lot of people don't get, that everything that we do with hollow point ammunition is trying to mimic this bitch. It's a devastating weapon. Welcome to black powder. You only get one shot, so we made it devastating. That was pretty much the thinking for a large amount of history. That's why muskets and shit are 70, 80 caliber. They're fucking huge. This thing, I think, is just the right mix. I kind of view it as this is my EDC pistol / I have a holster on my war rig that I don't know if I'm going to keep there or not, that I could take this and throw it in. And I think as an EDC, it's pretty badass. I think it would handle most of the things I'd ever need an EDC pistol for. And it's totally trolling the gun community a little bit. There's so many tactical fucking Timmies out there that have to have their whatever that I don't know. I enjoy using this thing just to piss them off. It's one of those you think you're cool? Let's take away all your technology. Okay, now let's give you a gun that only works if you're a wizard. Okay, you still tactical Timmy? Fuck you. Yeah. Yeah, the thing that I see when I see the gun community in general and the tactical gun community especially is that we are buying gear to buy capabilities to make up for shit we are lacking. And whether that's knowledge or experience or whatever, there's a lot of shit where people don't get shit, I guess. Like, I'm not saying you should go get a black powder revolver. This is like cranking the difficulty level to 11. I do it mainly just to show you that you can. And I also like it for the fucking people that can't own regular guns for whatever reason. Whole bunch of places where you could get this. And you can learn to use it real well. And like, especially if you can get a pair of them. I have one of these because I have other guns, right? I have this as a gee whiz, fun carry kind of a thing to alternate with my 1911 and the car, which I don't know where that thing went. It's in my house, but I put it in a flap holster. I put that flap holster in a box or a bag, and yeah, I don't remember what I did with it. It's around. I will find it. But it's a growing concern now. Usually I don't have guns go missing. I don't have other people here or anything, so it's not like somebody stole it or whatever. And I remember I put it and its spare holster and its flash hider all into the same thing so I wouldn't get lost and put them somewhere. No fucking idea where that is now. It's like, gee, that worked out well. This is why you probably shouldn't get fucked up and smoke a bunch of weed and drink too much and then decide to build survival kits. That's what we do here. I need to find it. It's around here. I'm probably going to have to clean my entire house, which I need to do anyway, to find that fucking gun. I sat it someplace odd. Also, I kind of feel that the general public probably feels safer with me having a black powder revolver. I tend to say a lot of outlandish shit. The thing that I'd like to convey is that if I really wanted you, I wouldn't need more than this. That's what a lot of people don't get, man, is your weapons are basically meaningless. If all I had was the fucking little shiv that's on the front of my other holster, I'd still come at you. You get some of that. I don't know how you get that, really. Like, I'm doing this radio show bullshit, and you could go watch James Yeager's old shit. I think that's honestly interesting, at least. And he's a crazy motherfucker. I don't know how you fucking attain mastery or whatever. Over the shit that matters, it takes just doing it. Over the shit that doesn't matter, I don't know. You can go shoot a lot. There's a lot of shit that, really, you just gotta go keep doing shit. I've been watching Civil War movies, and I'm kind of bummed out / excited to have, lemonade on the porch with cotillions and shit. Oh, General Beauregard and Lee and whatever. And oh, yes, and the lemonade. And that was so fucking funny. There's some parts of those movies that are just God, what the fuck am I watching? And there's some parts that I'm okay, well, this is cool. This is the, mix that I get with the Confederate shit is that at the same time that I'm not a fan of slavery, not a fan of racism, to me, that's not what any of that shit was ever about. And you'll never convince me otherwise. I'm a product of the Texas-Oklahoma educational system. I say that because all of our books came from Texas. So the South still lives in the Lone Star State, so to speak. The War of Northern Aggression was about just that. You do not have the right to tell us what we can do here in Texas or Oklahoma or Florida or any of the other states in the new Neo-Confederate Army. I'm just like throwing in whole states to my imaginary movement. I really think you're going to see that pop up. It's like, I even know black dudes that are like, they don't wave the fucking flag of Robert E. Lee or nothing like that, but at the same time, they get, oh yeah, they so helped us by freeing us. That's what that was. Yes, when they came down and raped and murdered the whole fucking countryside and burned up all of the houses and ate all of the food and then let all of our children starve, that was helping us. It's one of those things, like, it was a bad situation that I think a lot of people at the time were trying to fix, even in the South. There were some people that were jackasses. Don't get me wrong, there always are. And maybe they would have had to eventually get sorted out. I don't know about that. But some of the stuff that was done by the North is unforgivable, in my opinion. And they like to pretend that it was about slavery. It was never about slavery. You can tell that because they did the Emancipation Proclamation bullshit several years into the war. What were they fighting about for the first 3 years of the war? Yeah, it was about fucking stealing people's shit. Okay? Like, a lot of like the slavery thing was, hey, there are people that think this is bad, and therefore you guys should stop doing it. But in reality, if they stopped having slaves, entire industries would die because they needed the cotton. So how are you going to replace the cotton for, making clothing and shit? Because basically at that time, the way that they got it at the price they did or whatever was by having slaves. And that's a fucked up way to be or whatever, but that's like the financial reality of the situation is no one's going to end their entire world because someone has moral issues with it or whatever. And that's kind of the fucking place that they found themselves. And it's one of those things that it eventually solved itself with the cotton gin. It made it to where you could pick cotton much easier because you could pick it with the seeds in it and just have it all fucking ginned out. It's one of those, had they just waited for the fucking technological evolution or whatever, I would have been fine. I don't remember when that happened before or after the Civil War. It might have happened before, but then it spread around afterwards or whatever. But, like, that was one of those things that, like, it was happening at the time. There was this giant technological revolution in the country, and it was sweeping America. Much in the way that shit is now. And they're trying to steal shit again. They're doing it all over again. It's the same people doing it. They're going to come in and then they're going to vote for shit that makes them dictators, essentially. Could get into that, but they build a voting base of fucking deadheads that always vote for them. We need to start fighting back. We need to start fighting back now, or we're going to lose our states. Our states that we have that are the red states are the only line of defense that we have left against these people. It's time to secede. And like this time, I wouldn't start shit. I wouldn't attack Fort Sumter or whatever. I would, which was probably a fucking false flag. Get into that. I don't know. There's a lot of shit that, like, I just assume the fucking attack that starts every war now is a fucking false flag. Anyway. But, like, this go around, don't do that shit. Fucking just get armed to the fucking teeth and leave and say goodbye. And, like, I know a lot of places can't do that. But to be honest, I think it's going to be better than being with the sinking ship. We are tied to the sinking ships that are New York and California. Those places are going down and going down hard, and there's no way to stop that. They're in free fall. They don't know it yet, but they are. They're going to turn into some sort of crazy dystopian nightmare. Mark my words. I don't want to be attached to that ship. I think if we do it right and we just separate off as our own country, they're eventually going to attack us, but we should immediately start building fucking nukes. We know how to do it. Elon Musk is in Texas and has rockets. Like, this is the reality of the situation that the Democrats are creating. And they can't suppress this shit for forever. It's only going to be a matter of time until the rest of the country wakes up to this shit. Give it another couple of elections. We'll see. Like, if DeSantis gets in and he actually fixes shit, well, I guess I'm wrong or whatever, you know. If Trump gets in again and actually fixes shit, I guess I'm wrong. But I don't see that happening. I don't see, even if they got in, unless they eliminate the entire federal government and start over, I don't know how they would fix this. Our forefathers are laughing at our problems. A bunch of pussies that are too afraid to just do what is needed. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I think that they want us to do shit. Like, that would play right into their whole false flag bullshit. Like, this is why we need to be the ones that start doing things at a political level to separate. Like, our values have gone so fucking astray in this country that I don't see any reason to continue to be tied to New York and California. Other states too, but like, those two in particular are run by criminals. They keep sending criminals to Washington. And those criminals do shit that makes us poorer and their buddies richer. And this isn't just the Democrats. This is a Republican thing, too. The whole wars in Iraq, that funneled so much fucking money to George Bush's golf buddies, it's not even funny. Anyway, this is in a nutshell why, you know, I don't know. I think maybe we should start doing things politically. And building an army, because we're going to have to defend our shit if we break off. I really wish that we could get some states to start seriously discussing this. Given the situation, like, I think that, like, one of the big problems right now is that there's a large amount of people that if I told them what I believe the situation to be, they would not agree necessarily without proof that you wouldn't have unless you had Joe Biden's severed head. Okay? Like, I don't know what to tell those people. We're watching this shit, man. I've been watching this shit my whole fucking life. And it gets worse every year. Like, every time we get a new candidate or whatever that's supposed to fix things, they don't do shit. Why? Half because they lie, and half because they don't have the power to do some of those things. And the people that do have that power decided not to vote on it this week. And they do that all the time on the shit that they don't find politically or culturally advantageous to where they want the United States to go. Or whatever. So they're like controlling everything on high. They control our fucking school systems, man. Public education is one of like the worst things we ever had in this country. I'm not saying we should have uneducated fucking kids or whatever. You should be required to send your kid to a fucking school. However, it's one of those things that I think like schools should be maybe religious based or something. As fucked up as that is. At least that keeps the fucking politics out of it. Because like right now, we have a bunch of like Democrats teaching your kids. It's sad. Like every year that this goes by, we lose more. I just want to like find some place to exist because like I'm an American with no country. And this is why I kind of feel like the outlaw Josie Wales or fucking some shit like that, like some Confederate on the run from the law. Might as well be. We're all doomed anyway. The shit with Russia is going to get out of hand. I don't know how we end that shit. That's on top of all of these problems. I think the real answer to Russia is we're just going to have to leave the Ukrainians to their own fucking devices. Leave Europe to its own fucking devices. Probably sell them a bunch of weapons before we do that. I think we're going to see Russia and Europe duke it out. I think America's going to sit this world war out because we're going to be fighting a civil war. I'm sure that this is somehow inciting violence too. I got a video that I called Global Civil War taken down because it was inciting violence. I don't know what I said. I say some extreme shit. I very well may have incited some violence. I don't care anymore. I hate these people. I hate these people to such a fucking degree that I think we should fucking separate. I'm tired of this shit. How are you guys not tired of this shit after fucking decades of dealing with these people, Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, et al., throw in the Clintons and the people that ran Jimmy Carter and the people that ran fucking Johnson to some extent. There's this like Democrat cabal that has been around since they killed JFK that has run things. And I think that's why they don't want to tell us about the JFK files. My thing is, why did they kill that bastard? Is it that he was a real patriot and he was going to do shit? Because, like, I don't know. He's Catholic, so you can say whatever you want about that, but he probably does believe in God to some extent. and all that she's been through, like, if you got in there and found out that, like, it was this swamp, I don't know. I think that really this war has been going on since the Civil War, to some extent. It's been fought in the shadows, and it's been fought Republicans versus Democrats, or whoever versus whoever. And it's been fought non-violently for the most part. Sometimes there's some violence that peeks its head, but I think this is like the nature of what happens when you keep fucking raping and murdering the world and telling everybody that you're the good guys. Reaper's coming. That's what I see. I'd rather not be tied to New York and California when that happens. Long live the South and the new Neo-Confederacy, and be pro-secession. Start telling your fucking representatives this shit. All those people live in such isolated bubbles that they don't get what's really going on. It's kind of sad. They live in the house described in the Asshole song by Dennis Leary. That's what I see. It insulates them from the horrible decisions that they're fucking making, and it is causing our downfall. I'm really going now. I'll see you guys later. Pray for us, I guess. Like, also buy a black powder revolver and start whistling Dixie and shit, because, like, it's gonna freak these people out. See you guys later.